نزلنا الذكر وإنا له لحافظون.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Peace be with you. We have been talking about our arrival on Earth and the two dimensions within which we are dealing with our environment, space and time. And while we are dealing with space and time, we also have to act and to deal with this environment. And this is where we find a central notion in Islam, is what is the role of human being. Now we need to remember, we don't know why God has created us and put on earth, and even the angels were surprised. Are you going to create a being that is going to corrupt the earth and corrupt even the garden before this and spread bloodshed? And the answer was, I know what you don't know. Meaning here that we don't have the final answer why God had decided this. What we know is what is our function, what He is expecting from us while we are on earth, and He is expecting us and He will call us back to Him afterward, after our death. So our function is known, the why we are on earth and why this life we don't. With our limited knowledge now, we have to deal with the revelation and try to find our way. And there is this central notion in the Quran which is helping us to understand what we have to do and in which way we are going to respect God, respect and follow in the footsteps of the messenger, peace be on him, and deal with the environment the right way. What we find in the Quran is a verse talking about Khilafa. Khilafa means stewardship or vicegerency, is to acknowledge the fact that we are not the owner of the world and the universe. As we said in a previous session, لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. To God belong the heavens and the earth. So we need to get this. This ownership is not ours. Now, we are just trying to manage the reality, to try to deal with it the best way we can. So this is why we understand that the teachings coming from the Quran will help us to deal with the environment as vicegerent, not as owners of the universe and the reality around us. In the Quran, there is a verse telling this, or teaching us the reality of this. When it is said in the Quran, أَمَّنْ يُجِيبُ الْمُضْطَرَّ إِذَا دَعَاهُ وَيَكْشِفُ السُّوءَ وَيَجْعَلُكُمْ خُلَفَاءَ الْأَرْضِ أَإِلَهٌ مَعَ اللَّهِ قَلِيلًا مَا تَذَكَّرُونَ. Oh, who answers the one in need when he prays to him, and relieves adversity, and makes you successor or vicegerent on earth? Is there another God with God? How hardly you pay attention. The verse here is just reminding us of the reality of the oneness of God. Of course, there is no other God but God. And He is the one who responds to the needy when he calls him or she calls him. He is the one who is protecting us from adversity. And He is the one who put us as vicegerents on earth. And there is no other God but Him. And the point here that we need to get is that this is the decision of God, and He reminds us of the need for Him, that we need Him, that we seek His presence, and that He is bringing us in a reality where we should deal with this reality according to the principles He revealed to us. So what we need to do in this reality is at least three things that are essential. As we are not the owners, as we deal with this environment, the universe around us, is to respect it. And to respect the environment is a spiritual task as well as an intellectual commitment. The spiritual task, the spiritual connection that we need to have with God is to look at the signs around us and to understand that this is a book. So you are not the owner, and all this is a gift. And the way you deal with a gift is to remember who gave it to you, who offered you this, and to praise Him, to thank Him. So this is the relationship that we need to get through the environment to God. The second is in our relationship to respect this environment and the universe is to respect nature, to respect the species, to respect everything, even the small ants, everything we should pay respect and show how much we are committed to respect God, never destroying the lands, never destroying nature, never destroying trees or forest. And everything is so important here in the relationship that we need to get as Khilafa al-Ard, that we are the steward, we are the vicegerents on earth, and this is something which is important. The second dimension in our relationship is the way we manage the environment. We should be implementing an amr bil ma'ruf wa nahy anil munkar, commending the good and resisting the bad. This is the translation of the moral teachings of the Quran, showing that you are on earth, and the way you have to deal with your environment, with species around you, with your fellow human beings, is based on morality and the right moral principles that were revealed from and through the Quran. This is important as well in our understanding that we need to get this specific relationship as khulafa. And then there is a third dimension, which is based on our relationship with our fellow human beings. Because everything is just in the universe, because the universe is just, what you should be within humanity, among your fellow human beings, is just as you have been taught to be. So the just is asking you to be just. So be on the side of the people who are resisting in the name of justice, the oppressed and the poor people. So there is a commitment here as this stewardship is teaching us to be committed. So a spiritual relationship with the universe, an intellectual understanding, a scientific relationship with the environment, and then promoting morality, the ethical teachings are important, and then to be on the side of the oppressed and the poor people within the society. So these are the main teachings that we have here. And there is another verse which is helping us to get how heavy this responsibility is for human beings, because it's not an easy task, it's not an easy reality, it's not an easy objective for us to fulfill when it comes to our humanity and responding to the call of God. It is said in the Quran, إِنَّا عَرَضْنَا الْأَمَانَةَ عَلَى السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَالْجِبَالِ فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. So we offered the trust, al-amana, to the heavens and the earth and the mountains, but they refused to bear it and were apprehensive of it. But the human being accepted it. He was unfair and ignorant. How unfair and ignorant he could be. This is a translation that is closer to the Arabic meaning. Here there is an essential teaching coming from this verse, is that this trust, the trust that was given to human beings, was refused by as-samawati wal-ardi wal-jibal, so heavens, earth and mountains. They said, no, it's too heavy for us. And the human being took it, accepted it, out of ignorance and sometimes arrogance, because he thought that he can do this with all the weaknesses that he has as a human being. The point here is to remember that as much as the Quran is heavy, our responsibility is heavy as well. It's not easy to be the vicegerent on earth and to respect all the principles coming from the Quran. But this is the way it should be. This is our dignity as human beings. This is the dignity of our commitment. So Khilafa is not a political concept for the people to try to get power and to impose onto people rules. No, it's a cosmic notion. The cosmic notion of God is the owner of everything. Try your best and try to promote justice and freedom and dignity to people and be on the side of the good. Make it work the way it should be and be at the service of God's principles, be at the service of God's teachings by being on the right side, respecting nature, spreading peace, and be on the side, as we said, of the oppressed, wherever you are. That's the meaning of Al-Khilafa within space and time. And this is the way we should be dignified human being, responding to the call of God and getting from the very beginning the limits of our power on earth. Don't forget to tell the people you love that you love them. Life is fragile.
نحن نزلنا الذكر وإنا